Welcome to the Verdict Zone, where we unpack the stories that make you question everything. Today, we're diving into a case that blurs the line between ambition and outright betrayal. A story of family, fortune, and a fall from grace so spectacular it's hard to believe. This is the story of the Vance family. At the center of it all is Elena Vance, 29 years old, sharp, polished, and an Ivy League graduate. She was the golden child, the one destined to carry the family legacy forward. Her father, Leo Vance, had spent his entire life building Vance Logistics from the ground up. It was his sweat, his sacrifice, his masterpiece. When the time came for him to step back, he handed the keys to the kingdom to the one person he trusted most in the world, his daughter, Elena. It was a declaration of loyalty, a pledge to honor her father's life's work. Leo watched with pride, believing he was securing his company's future and finally earning a well-deserved retirement. But he wasn't just retiring. He was being evicted from his own life, and he didn't even know it yet. The perfect illusion was in place, and the stage was set for a devastating betrayal. The first crack in this perfect facade appeared in the most mundane of places, a bank. A few months after handing over control, Leo went to secure a simple personal loan. He was a man of considerable means, or so he thought. The loan officer came back with a grim face. "Mr. Vance," he said, "I'm sorry, but your application has been denied." Leo was stunned. Denied. He had perfect credit, a lifetime of financial prudence. The officer continued, "Your credit is shattered. There are multiple higher-risk loans taken out in your name." Leo was confused, then horrified as the paperwork was laid out in front of him. Loan after loan, each one for a staggering amount, all secured with his personal guarantee. And there, on the dotted line, was his signature, or what looked like his signature. But he had never signed these documents. He had never seen them before in his life. It was a forgery, a very good one, and it pointed to only one person who had the access and the audacity to pull it off: his daughter, Elena. He started digging, and the more he dug, the deeper the rabbit hole went. The money wasn't reinvested into Vance Logistics, as Elena had claimed. There were no new trucks, no upgraded systems, no expansion. The money trail led somewhere else entirely. It led to a lavish penthouse apartment with a breathtaking city view. It led to a fleet of luxury cars, each one more extravagant than the last. It led to a lifestyle of opulence that the company's profits could never have supported. Elena hadn't been investing in the family business. She had been liquidating it to fund her personal fantasy. The company was bleeding out, and its own CEO was holding the knife. The question that screams from the wreckage of Vance Logistics is, why? Why would a daughter do this to her own father? Why would she destroy the very legacy she promised to protect? In our investigation, we uncovered a mindset that some experts are calling success oversight. It's a dangerous distortion of reality where entitlement completely eclipses gratitude and responsibility. From what we've pieced together, Elena never saw the company as a living entity built by her father's hard work. She didn't see the loyal employees who had been with the company for decades, people who depended on it for their livelihoods. To her, they were just overhead, a line item on a budget that was getting in the way of her profits. In her mind, the family's wealth, the company, all of it belonged to her by right of birth, not by merit or hard work. Her father wasn't the founder she should honor. He was an obstacle, an old-fashioned relic whose cautious approach was holding her back from her grand vision. She saw his careful planning as slowness. She saw his loyalty to his staff as a weakness. The collapse of Vance Logistics wasn't the result of a tough market or a bad economy. It was a meticulously planned heist, executed from the inside by the one person everyone trusted to guard the vault. She wasn't building a company. She was gutting one. The final act of this tragedy unfolded with the chilling precision of a thriller. With the company on the brink of total collapse and creditors closing in, Elena made one last, desperate move. She was caught red-handed in a secret meeting, attempting to sell the company's most valuable assets, its proprietary land use, data, and trade secrets, to a direct competitor. It was the ultimate act of betrayal, selling the family's crown jewels for a quick payday to fund her escape. When Leo finally confronted her with the evidence of her treachery laid bare, her response was not one of remorse or shame. There were no tears, no apologies. She looked her heartbroken father straight in the eye and said, with a coldness that stunned him to his core, "You were just too slow to keep up." In her mind, she was the visionary, and he was the dinosaur who refused to evolve. She wasn't a thief. She was a pioneer, and he was just collateral damage in her relentless pursuit of what she believed she deserved. So, now we turn it over to you. We've laid out the receipts. The evidence is clear. We have a daughter, Elena, who claims she was simply doing what was necessary for growth in a fast-paced world. That her father's old ways were holding the company back. On the other side, we have a father, Leo, who says his daughter, his own flesh and blood, stole his life's work, shattered his trust, and betrayed his family for a penthouse and a fast car. Was this a series of ruthless, but shrewd, business moves? Or was it the ultimate betrayal of blood, a daughter's unforgivable sin against her father? Is this a story about a mistake, a young leader getting in over her head? Or is this about a choice, a conscious decision to sacrifice family and integrity on the altar of greed? The floor is now yours. We want to hear your verdict. Tell us in the comments below. We read every single one. Here, in the verdict zone, we pause, we reflect, and we remind ourselves what's right, what's wrong, and what truly matters. Thanks for watching.